here, this room does look about the same size as that other one. It just looks smaller because they ain't got any furniture.
You've got that many rows, but you've got twice
It's wide, it's wide.
wide, and you can actually add more rows.
Yeah.
They may not be able to see you.
Yeah, they can.
Maybe 10. Hold on.
Just looks.
Are we live? Okay, we'll hold off just a second until you tell me you're ready.
6:02.
We're waiting for you. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just let me drive.
It just came up on here.
Yeah, I can't get it to come up out there. Just let me drive. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Call the meeting in order for the Upshur County Board of Commissioners for Tuesday, November the 26th. If you would at this time, please rise for our invocation. Pastor Corley's going to take care of that business for us tonight, followed by our our pledge. Pastor.
Once again, Heavenly Father, we reach up to you, realizing, Lord, that each day we need your help, your guidance, your leadership. God, as we come together, Lord, as we continue to move forward, we realize, Lord, without you, Lord, we're desperate. Without you, we really don't know where to go and how to go. But because you lead us and you guide us, Lord, and we depend upon you each day, we just ask that you will continue to lead us where we should go. God, help us to accept the way that we have to go sometimes. We just ask, God, that you will continue to bless these men and women as this community comes together, Lord. And God, as they continue to lead us, I just pray, God, that you will just touch, lead us and guide us in the way that we should go, Lord, for our community, that our community can be better and better, Lord, as we live together. We just ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. You join me in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. What is? Yeah, okay. Before we start, need to amend the agenda to add an executive session for personnel. Is there anything else? That what you're talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I need a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Okay. All in favor? That's unanimous. Okay. All right. Next item is public hearing. Public hearing is on. You don't have a public hearing. Okay. Next is public comments. We broke the trend, and I think y'all signed up for public comments, but we're gonna, I think, take care of your business here in just a minute. So, do you have anything other than what you came to talk to us? You'd like to talk to us about? You just signed in. A lot of people do that. Okay. No public comments. Okay, gentlemen, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. For your consideration, you have the approval of the November 6, 2024 budget work session minutes, approval of the November 12, 2024 regular meeting minutes, acceptance of the financials through October 31st, 2024, and acceptance of the 2025 Board of Commissioner meeting schedule. Is there a motion on the consent?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Watson, seconded by Commissioner Ellington. Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilder?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ellington?
Yes.
Chairman Allen?
Yes. Okay, new business. Okay, discussion on the juvenile court budget. Jason Hall.
So, Mr. Chairman, a few months back I was invited by the team that you see here to see a presentation that's probably going to be similar to the one they're going to show you tonight. They had some pretty significant changes to their duties and responsibilities in the last legislative session, and I think they're going to talk to you a little bit about that, which resulted in their request to us to increase their head count for 2025. So in response to the board's wishes not to add headcount to employees this year, we did not recommend that position that they asked for. And if you, I think we actually did point that out when we were going through the budgets individually. But they have asked, and we have granted them the opportunity to present to you directly, so you can hear some of the more finer points that I heard. So I guess they're here to try to potentially
enlighten us.
Right, and show you why they feel I made an error in presenting the budget the way I did. So that's fair enough, right?
That's fair.
Okay, good. So with that, I'll leave the rest of the information.
So, Judge, or, whoever wants to lead the presentation or whatever.
Let me introduce to you Donna McCart. You probably know Miss McCart, but she'll head us out.
All right. Hey, Donna.
Hello. I think everybody knows me. I would like to introduce my presiding judge, Stephen Ott, Natalie Ashman, another juvenile court judge, my clerk, Samantha Smith, and Brianna Payton, which will be taking Sam's position after she moves to magistrate court in January.
Okay.
So, the juvenile court respectfully submitted a request for the addition of a new deputy clerk 1 position to be included in the 25 budget. This position is critical to address the increasing caseloads and ensure that our department continues to meet the needs of the community, comply with state mandates, and provide timely service to the youth and their families. Over the past year, the juvenile court has experienced a significant increase in case referrals in our caseload. This trend is expected to continue due to new state policies encouraging earlier intervention to the juvenile cases, as well as democratic shifts leading to more families seeking court services. The addition of the new position will help provide the quality of service we offer. Samantha Smith has diligently worked hard to present this PowerPoint that she's going to present tonight, and I really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to what we have. And I'll turn it over to her now.
Just a moment.
Well, like Ms. McCart stated, we do thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to speak in front of y'all today. We did present this to Mr. Tinsley. I wouldn't undercut yourself by saying you failed at the budget. We just wanted to, move to different statutes as far as, presenting it directly to the board themselves. The first things first, we are asking for 1 additional position. This has been amended since then. However, we stated that we have the positions there, or we did have the positions there, and it states it, they're just not filled, if that makes complete sense. The changes that we're undergoing, of course, are wonderful 401 Senate bill that's coming down the pipe for us. It's going to implement a whole bunch of changes that have been graciously brought down to us through paperwork and all of that. Our population increasing. We're undergoing e-filing, which juvenile court has never had. So that has definitely been a learning curve for us. And the wonderful Justice Center that everybody loves, or has grown to love. Our population, so per the Census Bureau, we're at roughly 28,433 in our population. 10 years ago, in 2014, there were 4 positions in juvenile court. They were all filled. At that time, we were at a 26,000 as far as population. We have increased by 2,000. That's not terrible. This 10-year span, it's not bad. However, we are projected to reach 30,000 individuals in Upson County, our population, in 2030. That is a pretty significant change. And that is a lot of cases for us. So juveniles in Upson County, juveniles create roughly about 19% of our population. But that being said, there are 28,000 people in Upson County, which means there's 6,884 juveniles in Upson County between the ages of 0 and 18. Every time a child is born in Upson County, our numbers increase. That being said,
So,
go ahead.
all right, I'm just call you out
Yes,
now.
sir.
So every child being born in this county, you're saying is gonna come to you and be in front of your court?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yes, sir.
So potentially, you're saying you gotta have 100% of juveniles end up in your system.
No, sir. Potentially, as in,
That's-
as soon as a baby comes out of the womb, if that mother is on methamphetamines, that is a
Uh-huh.
DFACS case that comes to us.
That's it. Do you have that percentage?
That percentage? No, sir, but I can obtain it for you if you'd like it.
I mean, 'cause to me, that would be the more relevant number. I mean, is
So this year,
if 100 babies are born, then what percentage of them, I mean, yeah, we're going up, but in 10 years, we've only gone up 4,000 people.
so this year we've had 5. Babies that have came out of the womb that came directly into care.
And how did that number differ from last year or the year before?
I'm not sure, I was not
Okay.
here.
To me, that would be a more relevant number than just saying, okay, you got 6,000 new babies. And that's potentially, I mean, we got 30,000, you're saying by 2030, and I'm just
No,
trying to put
I'm
things in
hearing you.
perspective. So 30,000 people, you got 30,000 people potentially gonna be in jail?
That's potentially, yes, sir.
We got
But-
bigger problems.
We do have a bigger problem, yes, sir. I've worked at the Upson County Sheriff's Office. I understand how big of a problem we do have. With that being said, we actually could potentially look at about 6,000 cases for us. That could either be delinquent or dependency. Now let's talk about the complaints. These are more on our delinquency side. These are kids who are getting charges or offending or, things of that nature, chins. So, in 2023, we had 187 delinquent charges. This number really breaks it down for us. But totally, I break it down into weapons, traffic, controlled substance, all that's gonna fall up under those lines of delinquency. But better off, that's 250 delinquent cases. Our deprivation or our DFACS cases, per se, and private cases are 101. In 2022, we had 225 delinquent cases and 81 or 87 dependencies. 2021, 178 delinquencies and 91 dependencies. Now, a more realistic number for us today, this is year to date, so January 1 of 2024 to November 20th of 2024. We have 281 cases. 155 of those are delinquents, 44 are traffic, and dependencies are 82. The dependency cases we've saw an uprise in dependency cases lately. Delinquency is definitely on the uprise with the offenses being more severe. That stemming from your criminal trespasses to your burglaries, to your, vandalism, and also some sex crimes as well. Our Senate Bill 401 is more of for Atlanta or the AOC to be able to click a button from Atlanta and say, okay, we have this many kids in DFACS care. They're wanting the lengths of time that the child has been in DFACS care, when the child came into DFACS care, and also when did they leave out of foster care, or what are the courts doing to limit this process and make sure we're actually keeping those children on our radar, per se, so they don't fall through the cracks. when we're entering cases, we have to take 22 steps per case. This is all of the information that the AOC is asking that we put in to our, basically our JCATs or our system that we keep track of. E-filing did come into effect on July 25th, 2024. We have undergone training on e-filing. It is still very new and we are learning every day about it. JCATs themselves are tweaking it as see fit per each court in Georgia. So it's new things are coming every day for us. In conclusion, we are asking that not 10 positions be open, but just one. We're asking for one position. One position can take a caseload off of myself and Ms. McCart and eventually Ms. Payton. We've also, the schools, they're having issues with their situation they have going on over there as far as chins goes. And that's a whole nother ball game we're going into. There's stuff that happens at the schools that we never even see as far as chins complaints or children in need of services. Because they're trying to handle it on the front end versus we're halfway through the school year and you have a child that has 50 absences by the time school gets here, by the time Christmas comes. There's an issue. There's a bigger issue here. And we just do not have the manpower to undertake those challenges that are being sought our way. And overall, we're wanting to help the youth of this community, and we need more manpower to do that. I do thank y'all, and thank you for allowing me to present, and I hope you do take everything into consideration.
I ask a question somebody wants to answer.
I'll try.
All right, so I want to make sure I'm reading this. I like to just go to the facts. I'm sorry I didn't really pay that much attention to the vote so much. So basically, this Senate Bill 401, which is better known as unfunded mandate, makes the dead boys up at the big house decided they're gonna send it to us, tell us we got to do it, and they didn't send no funding to get it done with. You know, we like those type of things around here. So is this just for juvenile cases that involves dependency? Or it doesn't say, you know, kids, you know, something going on at school, it's not going on at school, they turn over to, that information wouldn't have to be in. This is somebody that's going in some type of foster care or care?
The change, so the state has already tracked delinquency pretty thoroughly for whatever various reasons. It started about 2 years ago, particularly in the state Senate. They want to track dependency in the same way. So this is adding, the Senate bill added tracking dependency cases. The Juvenile Court Council believes this is just the beginning. Of course, generally funding gets tied to data at some point.
Right.
This is the first step, I think, in that process. So what they're asking is to better be able to track from Atlanta what we're doing here. And at some point, I don't know if it's the data from defects is not reliable. I do not know. But they now want it from the courts.
But like I was asking, it only pertains to the cases where defects is involved. I mean, and I don't know, I make an assumption here, but when we all know what assuming does, but does, you know, if I'm a kid's out, he's a juvenile, I mean, he gets in trouble for busting windows out of a car somewhere, okay?
Yes.
He's got a parent, does that child's information entered in the same fashion as this
Yes.
information is still recorded on him? Okay.
Yes, sir, that's just been being done.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So you're already doing this, right? You're just gonna add, and when you use this data of, you know, you got 30 plus cases, potential delinquency numbers to add, that's additional to what you're already doing, right? And you see that growing.
the emphasis is just truly on the data entry with both e-filing and the data. When we do not even know what data the Senate will request.
Yeah.
So that is entered correctly on the front end. Trying to back that out and change it, if entered wrong from the beginning, it's just going to be almost impossible.
And I guess, Donna, you probably have to answer this one, but at what level would this employee come in at? What step, pay grade, et cetera?
I think it was, the position salary was $34,900 a year. And I think that was like E12 or E15.
All of that sounds correct.
Yeah, okay. That's all I had.
Anybody else, any other questions?
Well, to our staff, and I know Alan, our CFO, is not here, but maybe Jason, right now our budget doesn't include it, correct?
It does not, no.
And we've been able to project the millage to stay the same. So my question is, if we do entertain this, how are we going to potentially still be able to keep that millage rate the same?
Well, as Commissioner Ellington pointed out, I mean, the legislation didn't include any additional fees or other revenue to compensate for the additional collection of data. So, and then this is a general funded department, so it would directly impact tax rates. Mr. Chairman, I will add one thing. Since I've seen this presentation last, I did go to all the other members of our circuit, or my colleagues that serve as managers in our circuit, and please keep in mind that everybody's set up a little differently when it comes to juvenile court. All juvenile court administration is not the same when you go county to county. So I want to be totally fair to the folks that are here, but none of the other counties are adding additional personnel as a direct result of this legislation.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joe.
Y'all ready to move? You ready to move?
I'm so excited. I sound like a kid. I am so excited.
Merry Christmas.
I'm hoping to see you.
A safe and efficient place to work.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Sure. Thanks to citizens of this county that voted on it.
I hope. Can't wait to see you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Okay, moving along. New county manager.
Can you? I've got an executive summary I'd like to refer to. Because I don't want to rattle off this list of roads for the board, but I want the board to see it. If you could just maximize that. So, item one, Mr. Chairman, so just a quick update on our T-Splosh resurfacing projects. Not sure where that first word came from, forgive me. We're basically 26% completed, and if you scroll down, that results in about 13 miles completed, and then those are all the roads that are that have been resurfaced.
Can you see it?
Yep. So a total 13.96 center line.
Out of close to 60.
Out of 53.25. Now, that 53.25 does not include some of the add-ons that they're pricing as a request of some of the commissioners, so we'll potentially need to come back with those if they're in excessive.
A lot of little bitty short roads.
Yeah, so and they will be returning to work about midweek next week.
Do we know where they're at? Location?
I do not know, but I can send that out to the board if you
So
would
the
like.
last road that, I think they were on was Baker Britt. That seemed to be where. So hopefully they're moving.
Not my end of Baker.
I noticed that.
And keep in mind, that's just a portion of Baker Britt Road,
Yeah,
not
it's
the entire road.
about what, 75% of the road?
Yeah, it was the part we didn't pave the last time.
And again, it's to get ready for the
the closure of the bridge over Jeff Davis.
Traffic, so almost a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speed bumps.
Yeah, there's speed bumps.
I have a speed bump in front of my house.
I heard
I
that
don't
we-
recommend them.
We put a sign out there,
Two.
and it's just saying,
It basically tells you how fast you're going, so it shows
where
your
does the
speed
signs come from?
from the road department.
Okay. I didn't know that our signs had that capability. So,
And those are our first. Those are our first.
the ones that we bought a couple of years ago.
No, we bought them this year.
Okay.
We bought them this year. In anticipation of that being used as a non-detour cut-through road.
That's gonna be.
Yeah.
Already.
You gonna have fun with that out there, Mr. Deputy?
Absolutely.
There you go. All right.
Now they don't.
You can sit in anytime.
They don't tell the police how fast you're going. They just tell you how fast you're going.
Well, I've tried it out. It's accurate.
Yeah.
Up to about 92.
You gotta slow down, you gotta, in that curve. Okay, all right.
Item 2 is just a quick update on Thurston Well. Our pre-construction meeting is next week, so we should have a construction schedule as a result of that meeting. So all the, can you scroll? Just make sure I didn't miss anything.
The,
All of the contracts have been signed on both ends and executed, so we're off to the races.
so once the notice to proceed is done, they've got how many days? Is it, do you remember, 180?
I think it was 160. I can confirm that with you.
Okay. We'll keep our fingers crossed going through the winter months. We don't have pipes busting and water leaks everywhere. Anyway.
Lastly, as all of you know, for the last few months, we've been talking about this climate change resiliency grant. So we did get that submitted. I know it's kind of an odd title to it, but we made it work. We spent a lot of time on this submission, and it totaled in excess of $16 million. So we put a lot of time and effort into it. They say they're going to be very speedy in reviewing, so we should be able to let you know before the end of the calendar.
They only got about 5 weeks. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yep. So those are my 3 updates, Mr. Chairman. If you have
Okay.
any questions, just.
I guess they name them like that to keep people from looking for them, right?
So, you and I talked the other day, and so can you update us on the Lincoln Park Volunteer Fire Department?
Yeah. So I'm glad you reminded me of that. I should have put that on the update.
Gotcha.
But about 8 days ago, one of the Lincoln Park's only pumper truck failed its pump test. Long story short, some of the other agencies came to their aid to try to help them find a quick substitute so they could maintain their certification. With the help of the chief of Thurston, we were able to locate a unit for them that we got pump tested immediately. Before we considered it any further, it passed. It got certified, so we purchased it for them to the tune of about $8,200. So, we did have funds in the budget for what we call grant match. So I think at a future board meeting, we're going to come to you to either decide whether or not we want to have them have those funds backed out of their monthly supplement, or we want to have some level of participation in a percentage of that grant, or even just grant it to them entirely. It's not owned or operated by the county. It was simply just paid for by us. It's insured and operated by them and certified. So that they did not lose their certification. I knew that there was a little bit of chatter about their ability to respond. They still have that ability, and they still have the personnel to do it. So we stepped in because we were going to be in an emergency situation if we didn't. It was $8,900 total for that unit. So it was mostly donated.
1,000 gallon, 1,200 gallon, 1,500 gallon.
Richard could tell you, I don't know.
I think he said 500.
Small.
I think he said 500 the other day when we were talking about it, wherever we were.
It's a mid-90s model. That's but they still maintain their certification, and it will not affect anyone's insurance rates.
So what are they gonna do with the other one?
Surplus it.
Parades. Engine runs, right?
Yeah, that's it. But
Parades.
if you got a 5 foot, that doesn't
I know.
cost more.
I know. Well, my only thing on all that is, and I'm glad we had the ability to do it. I'm glad they were able to find something. It took care of a need, short term. But, you know, this is one volunteer fire department. We've got others out there. So, you know, we've set a precedence now. When they get to a point and they struggle, and we have to bail them out. There's got to be something, you know, making sure that they're submitting their reports on time, they're fulfilling their obligations as far as the agreement with them.
Well, Mr. Chairman, that was going to be my next comment. I mean, I think beginning in the next calendar year, we really need to relook at those agreements with all of the volunteer fire departments because they're not very robust. So their reporting requirements are pretty minimal. And we don't have the ability at this time under those agreements to evaluate them ourselves. And I think that's something we probably want to look at in the future so that we have our own staff that is capable of determining whether or not that, rather than waiting on a state inspection, that we have a better heads up as to where we are from a response capability. So.
In Rock Hill, they've never replaced the truck that was totaled at the accident, have they?
Not that I'm aware of.
So. All right.
But thank you for reminding me.
That it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. English, you got anything for us tonight?
We had a very long but productive day in probate court today.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I think they probably just
I hope every day is long and productive in probate court, magistrate court, juvenile court. They got a great facility to use. Hope they're very productive.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, I'll go first. I sent you guys an email the other day. I don't know. A comment was made during the budget meeting with the probate judge. She said something about, she kind of indicated it might be some kind of rift between the commissioners and our local troop, state patrol. I went and met with them. There's no rift. I mean, there's new leadership over there. Now, you know, as the case always is, you know, when people see us, they're going to talk about their needs. I sent you an email, and I know Jason's, you know, he's got a very solid position on this. I mean, they are a state office, but it is our building. Have we had anybody go? Have we tasked EMC to go look at the parking lot and the?
Not yet, we haven't.
Okay. So I just like to know if y'all, so the driving course behind it is in awful shape. The parking lot, it's getting there. So, you know, there's some paving opportunities there that we may need to look at. So if it meets with the board's approval, I would like staff to have EMC go out and look at it. And I don't know that we could necessarily do it all at one time, break it down in phases, talk to Mr. Womble, see which one he prefers first. I think it would be the driving course. I mean, there's standing water and stuff out there. I didn't even know we still did driving courses. It's been that long ago. So, but anyway, so at least have an idea of what we're looking at, because it is our building. And then there were some other minimal things that they were looking for that are that the state won't buy them. If you would just look at the email and give us some input as to whether or not you think we ought to reach out. I mean, obviously, you know, majority of those troopers that are over there are folks from our local community. They're vested here. They're proud to be here at home, and you know, just like our deputies, we need them here. We need them on the roads, and so that we can keep us safe. So they're not holding us over a barrel. They're just they have needs. You know, you know, like we get unfunded mandates from the state. I'm sure they get unfunded. They go do this, but you know, there's no money for you yet. Things like audiovisual equipment, jacks, those type of things. So anything we can do to keep those gentlemen happy and those ladies over there happy, I'm assuming. So that would be good. So please look at that email. And really, I think as far as the Justice Center, we're on track. So for the interest of the public, our next meeting will be down there, right? Is that what we're doing? We're having
Our ribbon cutting will be there.
We're not having the meeting there?
I don't know. Y'all tell me.
Is it gonna be finished?
I thought the plan, what we talked about was to have our county commission meeting down there following the ribbon cutting. So what do y'all want to do? Is it ready?
That's what I'm saying, is it ready?
Not right now.
We
It's
don't
not.
have seating in there, the counter,
So-
got to be adjusted, no audio, visual
So-
stuff. It's all-
So I guess for the public's information, just stand by when the agenda comes out. It'll have a location on there. It may be here, it may be there. So just stand by. And with that, I think that's all I've got.
Well, first, I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, and also I would encourage everyone to keep up with the progress to the ball fields at the rec department over the next couple months. There's going to be a lot of changes out there, and I think this is going to be great for the community.
Well, hopefully we get some of this grant money so we can do a little bit more over there. The concession stand is
Yeah.
desperate. It really would. I mean, that would, if I could ask you guys to really keep something on the back burner there and try to get it to the
Yeah.
front, is that concession stand.
It doesn't make sense to do everything around it.
But,
not
we
concessions.
only can do what we can afford to do.
Mm.
So we should have the final pricing on that early January. So we'd be looking at hopefully a January work session where we can give you that information.
And they'll have updates to the grant funding at that time.
I would expect we would know by then.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jones.
I just want to wish all my fellow commissioners and staff and attorney and folks here, hope you have a great Thanksgiving and give thanks. I know I personally have a lot to give thanks for. It'd be a 2-day list, but we'll get back for our final meeting in December and move forward. That's all I got.
Mr. Jones.
No, no.
Go
ahead. This is just taking a risk, but I hope that I never have to attend another meeting like I attended prior to coming to here. As an elected official, that is not, in my opinion, how meetings should be conducted. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Did I blow it?
No, you didn't blow it. It wasn't you.
All right, I just want to make clear.
No.
I had to conduct it, so I wanted to make sure I didn't blow it on my final hour. Okay, Commissioner Jones.
Appreciate everybody that showed up. Was really expecting a whole lot more, but I guess they had getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we didn't have anything controversial, I guess, tonight. This is just me personally, okay? And I don't know if it's a separation of religion and state. I would love to have at our ribbon cutting for the new courthouse more than one preacher to get a perspective from the whole community to bless the place. That's just me, and I don't know if we can do it because it's governmental.
I think these two gentlemen sitting here have some pull in that community out
But
there.
I think it's, I'm a good Christian, and I really believe that there's a lot of evil that passes through a courthouse, and everything we can do to help people to see the light, even though you won't have to stand up in front of the jury and tell anything, but I would love to bless the building, and I just don't know if it's legal. Everybody.
There's a program, and they'll, but yeah, having that presence would really be appreciated.
Yeah, and that's, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Everybody in U2 land, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm grateful for everything that Upson County stands for. And I better shut up, so.
Mr. Wilder.
I do. I want to say that I promise you I won't never attend another meeting like we had. Similar to what we had prior to this meeting.
You can come.
And if you all are traveling during the holiday, during the Thanksgiving, please be careful, be safe, watch out for the folks that not watching out for you. And y'all have a happy and a safe Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
Okay, and the last thing I'll mention is, y'all keep the family of Mr. Danny Brown in your thoughts and prayers. Mr. Brown, you know, if you look at his obituary, you know, he served his county for a while as a coroner. He was highly involved in volunteer fire departments and EMS, EMA, all of that. He passed away Sunday. Keep his family in thoughts and prayers. And with that, there being no other comments, I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel. Okay. And Dave, we don't anticipate having any votes or anything after this. It's been just short discussion. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving.
Hey, Slade.
We're still live.
That was 35,000.
You guys had it down.
She just say deputy clerk, right? Yeah, right. You just come in.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's
Enjoy Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna go home and have me a tie.
You should.
There's a special bottle.
There is a very nice extra bottle.
I know, you need to come enjoy one with me. Are you going home?
Yeah, I'm going over to the, to go play trivia.
Yeah.
My standing Tuesday night date.
It's basically
not date, but when these ladies get invited me to go over and play trivia.
Yeah,
One of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Judy Green.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you over there with Judy and Kathy and
Judy and Jane.
Kathy?
Yeah. I get up on the latest gossip. And I help them at least compete in trivia.
They're my.
I circulated that agreement, the one we were talking about on the way over here. Now, keep in mind, like, there's seven commissioners on that commissioner's thing, so when you respond, you're responding to 7 people, not 5.
There are 2 newly elected.
Yeah, so,
I'm not responding to anybody.
okay, there you go. I'm just giving you the heads up, because it's the first time I copied you on that.
Cool.
But anyway,
Hey,
it shows where the IDA was pulled out of joint project.
You
I
want
think
some
there's
juice?
just been a fundamental misunderstanding in my office with Susan.